Broadcasting from Hollywood, California, it's Grant's Rants, Hollywood Talk.
Countess LuAnn gets the book thrown at her again over her DUI. The Downton Abbey trailer is released, and Rene Zellweger stars in Netflix's What If? Plus, Granny June calls in to rant about Mama June's missing teeth. Fern Ronay rejoins the Rants. Let the ranting begin. I am joined by my longtime friend, author, and podcast host, Fern Ronay. Welcome back to the Rants.
Hi, I'm so excited.
You've been on this show since the very beginning, it seems.
I know.
Peppered in between panels and parties and the Christmas episodes.
I'm so honored to be back. This is one of my favorite podcasts. You're doing such a good job.
Oh, thank you.
You really are.
You know, we're like real friends in real life, but because the way the city is designed, we don't see each other that often. So it's so nice to find an excuse just to have you in front of me and to talk on the podcast. And, you know, we're now 126 episodes in, and I think it's important to continue to bring people back and to chat with people we haven't heard from in a minute. And, you know, we've got you, and we're going to have Granny June. So the show remains, and it grows, but, you still got familiar voices here on the Rants. So
yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Of course. I'm so happy to be here.
I want to get your take. It's been a while that we've talked. Real Housewives of New York. How do you feel about this season? It's coming to an end. What do you think?
I feel like I say this about every New York season. A bad New York season is better than any other season in any other franchise, so I'll take it.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. I mean, especially when you're watching something like that awful show in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
I mean, that show is just the worst. So, I mean, this was really entertaining. New York, I mean, yeah, you're right. I actually I don't look at the clock. I'm not waiting for it to be over. When it's on, I enjoy it. There's enough going on to hold my attention.
Exactly.
And there's enough going on with Lou. I didn't think this would happen. I thought Lou would just finish out her time. You know, the probation ends in August. Mm-hmm. So we thought. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot going on. Lou has been taken into custody this last week. She sat before a judge, I assume, and there's this there are alleged probation violations. LuAnn told Page 6, the reports have not been accurate, and I'm glad the judge was understanding after being made aware of the facts. Well, I mean, she's still facing additional things.
Like major things. She has to take this certain medication that if you drink alcohol, it makes you nauseous.
Yeah, anti-boost?
Something. I looked it up and that was the description, that you would get sick if you...
It's used to treat chronic alcoholism. Okay. An extreme. What else? What else does she have to face here?
I think, what was the other thing? She had to check in with a counselor once a week and then another monthly check-in.
Yes, correct. And what else is happening here? Oh, breathalyzer.
Yes, for her car.
Yes, for her car.
Yeah. Does she even have a car? She lives in the city. I don't think so.
I don't know.
But it's a good idea in case she ever wants to get a car.
I mean, in the past, she refused to enroll in an outpatient treatment program, and she also refused an ankle monitor that would track alcohol consumption. She should have taken the ankle monitor.
Right, she should have taken anything. She sounds like such a diva. She said she couldn't do the whatever it was because of her tour schedule. She couldn't do the ankle monitor because it's intrusive. Like, you're screwing up. So just take whatever they give you so you don't have to go to Palm Beach and appear in court, get handcuffed, get taken away. That's worse. Just comply.
Like, look, I think tickets would sell extra for people to go and see the actual ankle bracelet around Lou's foot or ankle.
She could bedazzle it or something, right?
Embrace it.
Have Barbara, construct something around it.
Speaking of Barbara, what do you think of her?
I think she's outrageous. I think at first I was like, I don't mind her. I like her. She's bold and brazen. I like her. But then she got on my nerves. She did something that was so rude. I think it was in at Dorinda's house. And then she's been on my nerves.
For those not familiar, Barbara is a friend of the Real Housewives, yet she's been in almost every scene at every event and every sleepover. So, to me, it's crazy that she's not full-time.
Why isn't she? She just wasn't that good.
It just goes to show like all like the heavy hand of production with these shows. This is way beyond just New York Housewives, but all these reality shows. I mean, it's all about contracts. These women aren't friends. They're not in the same circles. They are to a degree, but they're not determining who's holding an apple and all that. There's so much to it. And it's kind of exhausting because we've now, this woman, she probably believes all the while filming that she's going to be full time. And now they dropped her at the last second.
Yeah, so she must not have had a good agent or lawyer or somebody.
Somebody dropped the ball with her.
Because she's in every episode. She's causing drama. And they just filmed the reunion. Like, she really has been in every episode.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was there at the reunion. So what do you want from the woman? Whether you like her or not, she's there. I mean, hello, it must come down to money. It must come down to that. One other thing with Lu, she has not provided, this is according to People and Page 6, she has not provided a significant amount of documentation about completed AA meetings. She was supposed to go to 2 per week, and she only reported attending 5.
Yes! I was like, this is not that hard. Like, just do it. If you're on a tour, then just find a meeting. Like, just do it. That was shocking to me. But what was also shocking was that I read that she confessed to having 2 mimosas after her Chicago show.
That was another thing.
At first, I was like, has she become so bold? Like, so... She thinks she thinks she's so irresistible now that she could confess to her probation
officer.
But then I was like, maybe, like, there has to be more to the story. So I think what happened, from what I gathered, is that she had this show April 20th in Chicago, had 2 mimosas after the show, and then the next day had to breathe into something in New York for her parole officer, and she failed, and then she confessed. So I have a feeling that says she has mimosas after every show. Like, if you can't keep it together,
right,
when you know you're going to be meeting with your parole officer the next day, she's probably been drinking this whole time. Yeah,
well, here's the thing with Lu. I believe that Lu does not think she's an alcoholic.
Exactly.
And so she's just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to here to diagnose the woman, but I think she's like, okay, I got caught with a DUI. It's not the end of the world. I'm still going to drink after this. Let's just go through the motions to get this done. But she's showing the judge with everything that we just reported here. Exactly. She's not taking it seriously.
Exactly. And if she really doesn't think she's an alcoholic, just go through the motion so you get out of trouble with the law. Like, do whatever you have to do.
Like, I get it. If she doesn't believe she's an alcoholic, to go to several AA meetings and to go to them 2 times a week, I get how that's like not attractive and not fun. And when she was here in LA, she had a show, and a friend of mine knows her, and she offered to go to a meeting with Lu, and Lu was like, "Nah, I'm good." So
there's don't have to go to that for.
Yeah. There was a meeting you could have checked off. Now you could have had 6.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
At least. I mean,
I feel like if I were in trouble with the law, I would just do whatever you want me to do. Like, I'm not a drug addict, but if you want to go to narc meetings, I'll go. I'll get something out of it.
Just get this
like, I'll just
with.
check it off the list. But I think she's become so pompous, so on top of the world, that she thinks she's just doesn't really have to do any of this. She'll get out of it somehow.
You do, because now they added 3 more terms to your probation, according to the blast. So, yeah, I mean, Lu,
she's
figure
like, 3
it out. 3
more tour dates? No, 3 more terms. She's so crazy.
You know, I get it in a way, because she's finding all the success with the show, so it must be tempting to stay at home in that roundhouse quiet. But at the same time, like, check these boxes. They're telling you exactly what you need to do.
Exactly.
Check the boxes and get it done. I don't like, any longtime listener of this show, I don't like people with out of control egos. And that's a storyline on the show. I mean, that's what we're being told. We'll have to see how it all plays out at the reunion, because I'll get a good read, because it'll be more current. But, I don't know, Lu, you got to do this. I mean, I'm sorry. The judge is telling you, figure it out.
No cabaret excuse.
Who knows? Lu, figure it out, because I'm not. Let's move on. I want to mention Jill, ex-Real Housewife of New York, Jill, who hasn't been on the show in a long time, full-time anyway. It's been like years. Now she's complaining because she claims she filmed this season 3 to 4 times, and she was only shown once playing tennis.
She's lucky she was on once. She's so desperate to be back on. And I like Jill, but she's so desperate to be back on that just take what you can get.
Well, she claims that she was very upset and sad. The word sad was used because she She invited the girls to a birthday party, and she was filmed inviting them, but no one came, no one attended. They didn't want to go. So it just kind of stopped there. So, I mean,
And she gets paid for those filming 4 times.
Likely, yeah.
Yeah, so you got paid. You were on once, you got a little bit of attention. What more can you ask for?
You don't feel sad for
I feel sad for her because I loved Bobby, and I'm like sad for her situation. And I do like Jill, but if you're not wanted back, just take what you can get and just move on and be happy.
Yeah, I mean, Jill, this is your one and only claim to fame. I know you have the area rug business on lock, but like, what else is going on?
She's pissed that she's working at the rug store and she's not like, can't quit her day job.
Yeah,
Sorry.
She wants to be on this show so bad. Let's talk about Mama June, someone that's very polarizing to Granny June. When I saw this story and I saw Wendy talk about it, Wendy Williams said that Mama June is no longer invited onto her show because she has so many problems. It's an ugly situation. So I said, who do I know that hates this woman enough? Granny June. So I put in a call and we'll react to it in a moment. But here is what Granny had to say. Granny June from Coventry, Rhode Island. Welcome back to the Rants, miss.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be back.
I thought it was time to have you back. I thought it was time to have your opinion back on the Rants.
Okay, I'm always ready with an opinion.
Well, I know this one is polarizing for you. Mama June, not a fan of Mama June.
No, I'm sorry she's got the same name as me.
I know. I was waiting for that. Yeah, I wanted to clarify there's no relation between these two.
No, none at all.
So Mama June, she's been in the news recently, and I've kind of ignored it until it got, really crazy. I mean, with twist after twist with this one, she's on a real downward spiral. Since March, she was caught with crack cocaine.
Oh, yeah. She faces almost a year in jail, And, she lost the weight, but she lost her mind when she lost the weight.
Yeah.
She's crazy. She looks real bad in the mugshots, and that other Gino, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Is it Dope or Doke?
I don't even know. Gino, anyway, how do you feel about him?
He's really what you call a bellarobe. I mean, he's really something.
Translate, please.
He's a bellarobe, as they say in Italian. Che bellarobe. That's him.
I'm assuming that means idiot.
Well, it can mean anything you want, but I think it means completely out of it.
Well, yeah, he looks like he has the face of a real loser.
Oh God, he's been lost. Never mind loser, he's gone. Anyway, The two of them, they're really quite a couple. Now, that Honey Boo Boo, she's crying because she doesn't want to live with her sister or something, and the mother could care less.
Yeah, the sister's 19 years old. Honey Boo Boo is, in her teens too. It is kind of crazy that the two of them have to live together, but at least they have one another because the mother's not doing anything.
That mother, she really, really went downhill. She looks terrible. And like I say, now they're saying that she had these confrontations, and they don't know what happened to her teeth. Her teeth look very bad, and they're either rotted or fallen out. But I say that they're rotted from all the drugs that she's been taking, because that rots your teeth.
It's very likely. There's that. There's also that she's lost feeling in her hand. She collapsed in the street outside of her sister's house after an intervention. It's not a healthy person.
No, the family tried to stage an intervention, and she said, if you don't, she wanted to get out of there, and she said, if you don't let me go, I'll call the effing police. Well, the police are probably after her. So what is she going to call them for?
Well, that's my biggest question. You said, like you said at the beginning, I mean, she faces up to a year in jail over these felony drug charges. How is she out and about? Like, how is she literally in the street, laying in the street? Like, I don't get it. Are they just kind of waiting to go in front of a judge? Or, I don't get it. She's these charges against her, but she's walking all around.
Yeah, they probably don't know what to do with her. The family's probably trying to get her to straighten up and fly right, but she's not going to. Like I said, she lost all that weight and it went to her head. She went crazy. And she got involved with this loser. I mean, she ruined her daughter's program. She ruined her daughter's television program. And then she starts her own from not to hot.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's not from not to hot. That's from fat to dumb. That's what it is. From fat to druggy. They ought to rename that program from fat to druggy.
Yeah, there you go.
Never mind. Not to
TV,
hot.
are you listening? Yeah, that's true. I mean, you had her number from the beginning, though. I mean, we've talked about Mama June on and off for a long time, and other people said, "Oh, deep down, she's an attractive person. She's a good mom." Yeah. I'm not calling her out on mothering, but she's not there for her kids now. But you always saw her for who she is.
Oh yeah, she's not too swift. Let me put it that way. She got involved with her daughter's program, and she ruined that. So now the daughter doesn't have a show, and she has this from not to hot.
Now, by ruining the show, are you referring to her dating history with the child molester?
Yes. Who is this Eugene or Gino Doak?
This is a new one. She claims that this new guy is the true love of her life.
Oh,
and together,
if that's all she has to love, someone like that. She is out of it.
The two of them allegedly are living out of a casino. What do you think about that?
Oh, well, maybe they're going to go round and round on the wheels.
Well, it sounds like they are. Yeah, that sounds like the problem.
Round and round. They're probably drinking themselves to death. And like they said, she'll either end up in jail or she'll die. That's what she's looking at.
Yeah, it is kind of sad. I mean, we joke, but it is kind of sad. I mean, that she's a mother to multiple stray children.
Well, she ought to straighten up and fly right and take care of those kids.
Well, that leads me to my next question, advice. What advice do you have for Mama June Shannon?
Well, I don't think there's much advice that she's going to take if she won't even listen to her own family. But I'm saying to her, if she's ever listening, she better straighten herself out because she's heading for no good. She's going to end up either underground or in jail. And I know it's a difficult thing, but she's got to get away from this person who's leading her down the path with him. And she's got to come across and take care of her kids because it's not any good what she's doing.
She has to be responsible.
The next thing we're going to read about her is that she's either in jail or she's dead or completely out of her mind from using too many drugs. And I don't know why people allow themselves to get that way, but she lost all that weight and it went to her head in more ways than one.
I don't have any advice for her because, an addict has to reach, rock bottom before they turn things around.
Yeah, but sometimes before they reach rock bottom, they bottom out, and that's it.
Yeah, well, she's in a risky position.
Very, yeah.
All right, Granny, thank you for the advice. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on Mama June. I know you I don't know if you're that invested.
I don't know her personally. She's nobody to me, but she is somebody's mother, and that's important. And she should know enough to straighten up and fly right, or she's not going to be flying at all.
Yep.
She's going to be digging a hole in the ground. So that's my advice.
Sage advice from the sage. Thank you, Granny.
Thank you, and goodbye to everyone from the Sage of Coventry.
No, Fern, what do you know about this? Do you have any feelings? I mean, Honey Boo Boo, she's living with her 19-year-old sister. There was an intervention held. I mean,
it's really sad. I had high hopes for Mama June because years ago I remember reading that, she put Honey Boo Boo's money from the show in a trust, and I was like, good for her. Like, there were so many things that this family did that was disgusting, but there were so many things that they did that were good. Like, I remember they had a show where they gave food to the poor, and I read an article that anyone in their neighborhood or in their town who wants something, like if they ran out of toilet paper, if they ran out of something and they couldn't afford it, they could always go to their house and get it. And I was like, this is a good family. And then they completely fell apart.
And the show does well. I actually looked up the ratings. It does well. It's on a Friday night, so this competition isn't exactly fierce. But, she does well. She even does better than Bill Maher.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
God, what does that say about this country?
I know. Random but true. And, I mean, people are watching this, and I really don't care.
And the show is a makeover show?
It started off as her, big transition, her weight loss, the plastic surgery, and then it became about kind of like her lifestyle, and now it's, about her addiction. So, wow. I don't watch the show, but I've been following this, kind of like you, what's going to happen with this family. I think we all kind of wondered where Honey Boo Boo would end up. Mm-hmm. She was as that little, 6-year-old girl to, where are we now? And, she's crashing on our sister's couch.
That's so sad. It's so sad. It's sad too, because it's kind of like LuAnn, like these people, if you don't already love yourself, you don't already have self-worth and self-confidence, and you get this, accolades and people are giving you compliments. If you're not already steady as a person, if these compliments are going to put you too high, and then when they stop, you're going to go too low. If you just already have your own self-worth, your own self-value, it's not going to shake you either way. And these people get shaking because they have, their foundation is so insecure as it is. That's why these shows are so fascinating. These people are incredible, but there really are people's lives. So I hope Lou gets it together. I hope she gets it together because she has 4 kids.
Yeah, I mean, from not to hot, she's walking around with missing teeth. I mean, we're going to go the other way.
Yes,
I mean, I never considered Mama June hot.
Right.
But, I mean, it's
But if she felt
crazy.
good about herself, great. But what led to the now downfall? Something wasn't there to begin with. I mean,
hangers on and
there,
probably bad men that she's hanging out with. That's my guess. Mm-hmm. When we come back, in a way that only Grants Rants can, we're going to switch from missing teeth to the Downton Abbey trailer. I don't know how to transition to that. So let's take a moment and have a quick break, and then we'll come back with a very highbrow conversation here on Grants Rants Hollywood Talk with Fern Ronay.
You're listening to Grants Rants. Subscribe and spread the word. There are a lot more rants to come. Listen anytime on all major podcasting platforms. And now, back to the show.
And we're back on the Rants with Fern. And it's I almost have the day off because it's so easy just to talk with you. And, it's so chill. So I really appreciate it. This is always a good one.
So fun.
So let's talk about this Downton Abbey movie. The trailer has come out, and I will admit straight up, I did not see the last season. I have to catch up. The thing, I'm blaming it on digital streaming because it was available through PBS, then it was available over here, then it was available over there. So I got to find out where it lives.
It was confusing. Yeah.
Where does it live? I think it might be on Netflix. It was at one point.
I think so, because there's other PBS shows that are on Netflix or Prime. I think Netflix, though.
Yeah, I got to find it because I fully intend that it's been on my list to finish this show, and I will watch it so then I can get into this movie. The movie will be opening, mark your calendars if you're interested, September 20th. So it's kind of coming up. They announced this movie, they shot this movie, and it's coming out all pretty quick. Usually people have to wait years for this type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But they clearly know what they're doing over there, and they got it together real quick.
Yeah.
Are you excited for this?
So excited. Okay. So excited. I love it. When the trailer opened and you see kind of the car driving up to the Highclere Castle, I'm like, this show is just beautiful. It's perfection. not just the look, the writing, everything. It was just perfect and beautiful, and I loved every minute of it. And I'm so excited.
It's funny because I have like in my little outline here, I was like, it was always top tier. The cinematography, the story, like it always was like a film to me.
Yes.
It was always shot like a film, and it was always very well presented, no weak links, like it was so like. The movie looked a lot like the show because it's so highbrow.
Yes, the show was so well done that the movie, it was seamless. It looks great.
Seamless is the right word. I have to laugh though. Dame Maggie Smith, she's still alive. The character,
still going.
The character is still alive. And now this movie's gonna be set in 1927. I mean, it's like a little bit of The Walking Dead as far as like how old is.
But her character is like she's gonna outlive them all. She's like so spunky.
How old is her character?
I know,
for real.
Like,
but I'm glad.
You gotta be realistic here.
But I mean, to do the movie and to not even have, I thought about it, like if they were and they didn't have even one character from the TV series, it would be not so great. It has to be the same crowd.
Yeah. There's only one not coming back. I think Lily Rose. What's her name? Cousin Rose.
Oh, Cousin Rose. Yeah, that's correct.
Lily something.
Yeah, she was in the Cinderella live action.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. But you know what? That's okay because she was always kind of in and out.
Mm-hmm. But
so
the main characters are coming back.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm okay.
Even
with that.
Carson's coming out of retirement to plan a party for the royals.
Of course.
I'm so excited. And you went to, I think it was 2 Christmases ago, the Downton exhibit. And
yes,
if it's
the Downton Abbey exhibit.
If it's still in, anyone who's listening, if it is in your area, go see it. It was incredible. Howie wanted to come with me. I'm like, you are not going. He doesn't watch the show. I'm like, go to the movies. I had to just go by myself and take my time. And I took 3 hours. They say you could do it in 90 minutes. I took 3 hours. I absorbed every morsel. I read every word. I inspected every outfit. I just love the show so much. And it was so great to see all of the sets, that Mary's bedroom and the dining room. And it was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it really was immersive. It opens June 15th in Boston for a limited engagement. So there's something to look forward to if you're in the Boston area. I also went and saw it in New York, and I treated my mom, my grandmother, and my dad to it when I was there because it was like the Mother's Day. Here you go. Like we see each other like twice a year. Sad, but true. So I was like, let's do it. And there was a lot. I mean, there's a lot, especially of props, and there's a massive room full of all the original costumes they made.
Yeah,
yeah. And they don't even do that anymore for films, and this is for a show.
Yeah.
So you can imagine this film. I mean, it's just going to be so over the top. I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too.
And I will watch. I think this is something I will definitely go and see in the theater. I don't go to the movies very often, but I will go and see it.
Oh, I was going to say you're going to watch the last season.
Oh yeah, I have to see that. I have to see that. There's just so many shows. Like when Downton started, I feel like there were very few big scripted shows. Now there's just so much. I mean, it's so hard to follow and what comes back when and where to find it in these streaming things. Yeah. So it just kind of got lost in the shuffle for me. But that's no excuse. I'll have to watch it. One other thing I want to give a quick shout out to is this Netflix show, What If? Are you familiar with this show?
With Rene Zellweger?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. What's it about?
So this is what it says. It says that this is going to be 10 episodes, and the description is, in this neo-noir thriller, cash-strapped newlyweds accept a lucrative but morally questionable offer from a mysterious female benefactor. And the same composer and creator of the show, What If, created Revenge on ABC. So it's very similar. And that was when Revenge was really good. That first season was awesome right out of the gate. And so that's how I feel about this show. I can see how it kind of mirrors the show. Gabriel Mann made an appearance with the music. I love that composer. So it's really an interesting watch.
I have to watch it.
But yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns. It's dark. There's almost lightning in the sky.
Oh.
It's I'm going to
watch it.
Yeah. So
I give everything one episode. But I feel like I don't give things enough. But you have to get me in the first episode. Time is,
there's so much to watch.
There's so much to watch.
Yeah. So let me know, anyone listening, if you're watching What If, because I'm really kind of into it. I don't know anyone that's watching, so let me know. Because I think it could be really buzzy. I mean, the way that Revenge was, and this has Rene Zellweger, who I just love.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta
Good.
watch
That's
it.
a good get for Netflix too.
Yeah.
Her, you know, she's an
She's
A-lister.
an Oscar winner. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk with you. Let's chill out and relax here a little bit. Glad to know you're back on the Rants. What's going on with the book? I ask you all the time.
So I still have to go through the line edit, and then they're kind of backed up at my publisher. So I finished the content edit in December. We did the cover design like last month, and now I'm waiting for my line editor to be assigned. And then once we go through the line edit, the proofread, then they can assign me a release date. And I thought it was going to be in summer, but that's not going to happen. So it's going to be fall, fingers crossed.
Okay.
Yes. And it's called Better Believe It.
Now, the cover, I believe, is the cover out there? I think I saw it.
Yeah.
Right?
It looks like Better in the Morning, but it's a different character, and she's married and has a kid.
There's a baby carriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Which I know absolutely nothing about. Happily child-free over here. But I read, I wrote this main character who's married unhappily and has a child. She's kind of, has mixed thoughts about motherhood. And I think a lot of people go through that. So I read a lot of mommy blogs, but I read a lot of the anonymous comments in mommy blogs where people really let it out. So that helped me inform
So you've definitely
my
done
character.
your research.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like you really are writing a character almost like in a screenplay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's
Fun.
just as qualifying.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Are you still with AfterBuzz?
Yeah, so I want to do Divorce on HBO. They're going to have a third season with Sarah Jessica Parker, and I love that show. So hopefully I'll be doing that. And then every once in a while they'll send me, a book, and they're like, Fern, can you do this book circle online? So I've met some wonderful authors through that. So I haven't been back for any of the Housewives show because those seasons go on forever.
I know, it's such a commitment.
It was so hard
It
trying
is
to get
nice
all my
to be
other
able to
things
come
done.
and go.
Yeah.
And we both live far from the studio.
Yeah.
So, it's a trek. It's a whole night for me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I-
exactly.
I did a panel for the Real Housewives of New York this last week, and it took me over an hour to get from work there and then, to come all the way home. And it was a whole day.
Yeah.
So I enjoy doing it, but it's like, I got to really kind of plan for that type
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it though. I'm grateful for it. That's how we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're also a podcast host now.
Yes, thanks to you. You helped me set up
God.
with Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah. I
So
barely remember that.
I'm up to 18 episodes. It's called Signs from the Other Side, and it's stories
Good for
of
you.
signs and messages received from the other side. And the first 9 episodes, I did call in on Blog Talk Radio, so it was recorded live, and I had no editing capabilities. I've since learned to audition, so that's good.
Oh, that is
So
good.
now I can edit out my incessant rambling and other mistakes and just clean it up and make it tight. So it's gotten better. So I'm proud of especially the last 2 episodes.
Yes, I heard the
Yeah.
most recent, I believe, was
Yeah.
episode 18.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thank
I
you.
am. You're a good editor. I
Thank you.
didn't hear any hard
Howie
edits or
said that
cuts or
too.
anything
Like
like
Howie
that.
always gives me constructive criticism, and he's like, the editing is good.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An audition isn't easy to learn. So good for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me more about the show and what people can expect, because I think people are going to find it interesting.
Yeah. So I believe in signs from the other side. So when people pass, our loved ones, they can still communicate with us through, they don't have a body to speak with their mouth, but they can communicate with energy and send us things that mean something to us. So I've done 18 episodes so far, and everybody's story is different. Everybody, some people get, a message on their phone on their birthday, and it weird things like that. Or it's always a coincidence that's not really a coincidence, and it always kind of happens, kind of on a day that makes you that it confirms, like, this is the affirmation you needed if you were wondering if this is a sign, like, this is the day they passed, or this is their birthday, or this is your birthday. So all the stories are different, and they're all just really special. I've had a lot of authors on, a lot of women authors, because that's my community, but I want to hear everybody's story. Every time I happen to end up talking about this with someone has a story of a sign they received and what they believe. And I'm like, I want to hear them all. And if there's a lot of people who maybe this isn't their thing, that you can't talk about with your husband or your sister or your mother. Maybe they just don't, it's not that we're criticizing them or judging them that they don't believe. That's fine. I'm not here to convince anybody to believe anything. But if you believe and you want to tell someone, find me on social media. I will listen to your story. I want to hear them all. I love this. And I believe that you will get confirmation from me that it was not a coincidence. It was really a sign, and you can share it with me.
I think it's important to like look for things and be open to that. I do, because you just never know. Like this seems so silly, but like when I first moved here, I saw a bunch of like feathers and things like that, and that represents like a bird that I had in the past. But like it's true, I was very close to being this bird.
I love it,
Dolores. But like I have a feather of her in my house behind this little frame, and right next to the Brittany Lindsay Paris photo. But like when I first moved here, I was like I just want to make sure I'm in the right place, and I kept coming across all these feathers, and I never see them. I never see them now. I don't live near really. I live in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I just kind of picked up on that right away.
Yes, and her name was Dolores. I love that, because remember Greg from Real Housewives of New Jersey had a dog named Dolores.
Yeah.
I always thought that was so funny.
Yeah,
I love it. So Dolores, yes, she was saying like you were asking for a sign, and here it is. Like you're in the right place.
This was a new chapter in my life at the time, and I was like, oh, I just hope this is where I should be.
The funny thing is, people are always looking for signs to say like, I'm going to be happy. It's going to be easy. And sometimes the sign is you're going to learn everything you're meant to learn.
Yeah. I have a question about signs. Is that something that you can kind of set with a person while they're still alive?
So you can do it either way. So my grandmother, before she died, I'm like, you're going to send me leaves. And she's like, from a tree? I'm like, yes. So I get leaves all the time. But if we hadn't done that, I could still speak to her. Like, she's still here. I could still say, Graham, this is it. You're going to send me leaves from now on.
Because
you can do it either way.
I've made suggestions to Granny June, and she's rejected all of them. I don't want to. No, I'm not going to be associated with that. I know, but like, I'm just trying to think of stuff. I don't want to be loose change. I don't want to be feathers. I don't want to be a butterfly. Like, well, then what could naturally, perhaps you be?
Right.
And so we still have not come to a decision on this. And we need to figure it out.
Either way, though, I feel like when the sign happens, it's like falling in love. You're like, I just know that this was meant for me. So when the time comes, I hope it's in 100 years, because I love her, and we should all emulate Granny June. She's like living the dream. 90 years old. And like still going. I love it. And still commenting on the Housewives. Like, that's what makes her so cool. Like, she's so with it. I love it. But when the time comes, like, it'll happen in a way where you'd be like, that's her. Like, maybe she had a joke like, I'm not going to be loose change. And then all of a sudden you find silver dollars. Like, maybe it would be her saying like, I changed my mind and this is it. Like, you just know. So.
Yeah. Well, she needs to figure out what she wants to become or be associated with.
So you can be sure.
Yeah. So the name of the podcast again
is Signs from the Other Side.
Perfect. Give it a search. I listened myself.
Thank you.
I love that. And I love that we can support each other as podcasters too, and do the shows.
I was thinking on the way here, like I hope the executives of every network are listening to this podcast, because you are the age that they want to know what people are thinking. But in you, they have someone who is so wise beyond their years, so astute, and they should be listening to you, Grant. And that's the truth.
Well, thank you.
It's the truth.
Thank you. That's a nice statement. I really appreciate that, and I'll accept that. Thank you very much. Wow, yeah. I mean, as someone right now, I'm really putting myself out there, trying to not necessarily be a host in a new Ryan Seacrest. I'm trying to, continue to produce content that's smart. And, it's been tough. There's a lot of competition out there. So that's a nice boost in the arm. I appreciate that.
It's true.
Thank you, Fern.
Of course.
Where can we find you? What else is new?
You can find me on all social media at Fern Ronay, RONAY. The podcast has an Instagram. It's at Signs from the Other Side Pod, because podcast would have been too long. You can find me anywhere and send me stories of your signs. I'm here for you. I'll listen.
That's great. And I want to shout out the Grants Rants Facebook page. I'm almost at, I think, almost 300 likes, and I'd like to get to that level. So, you'll be the first to find episodes when they are posted, and I post some articles and a little commentary along the way. So if you want to have another page to like on Facebook, Search for Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk. If not, I love you just listening to the show. Stay subscribed because there's a lot more rants to come. We got a lot of good stuff coming. I will not be taking any type of summer break. I will take a week or two off as I do have some travel, but I'm going to be here all summer talking about what's going on. So I hope you'll join me. Thank you, Fern, for everything.
Of course.
I'll talk to you soon.
This has been Grant's Rants. Support the rant on Patreon at patreon.com/Grant's Rants. Follow Grant on Twitter and Instagram at It's Grant's Rants. Cover art created by RHONY. Voiceover by Original theme music by Alexander Arntzen. The Grant Michael Collection.